and we're working on getting him proficient so he can talk through the computer.
Diane Luth is explaining how her son, Scott Evelyn, communicates after suffering a traumatic brain injury. He depends on caregivers 24/7 to eat, bathe, and communicate. 17 years ago, Evelyn collapsed on the field at Mission Hills High School after sustaining a brain injury. It was his second head injury within a week, and he had asked to sit out the game.
The trainer had said, "Oh, you don't have to play," and unfortunately the coach overruled him and put him in, and that was the last of the Scott that we knew.
Head injuries continue to plague youth football. So far this year, a middle school player in West Virginia and a high school player in Alabama have died from head injuries. An effort to ban tackling in high school football has been met with strong resistance. A state bill to ban children under 12 from playing was scrapped earlier this year after Governor Gavin Newsom said he would veto it. There have been some changes made in recent years to keep student athletes safe, including limits on practice time. And coaches are now better trained to look for signs of head injuries. John Goodman is the head coach at Escondido Charter High School. He played high school football about 30 years ago.
I don't think people knew back then what was going on with it, and we just kind of played.
Now he says the game is much faster, thanks to technology like sideline replays. So the chances of kids getting hurt are greater.
Now kids are getting to the ball quicker. They know what's happening faster, so it's even more paramount today that you educate the youngsters on what the proper technique, what the proper angles are.
But technology is also making the sport safer. Goodman has used Guardian caps during practice for the past 10 years. This is technology the NFL started using this year. They are soft shell helmet covers. He's also using what's known as Riddell Insight.
A sensor in the helmets that tell a reader how much the kids have impacted a hit, and then that reader tells my athletic trainer, hey, you need to look at this youngster to see if he's sustained a head collision.
Escondido Charter High parent Brian Fonseca used to coach Pop Warner football. He says the sport is safer than ever.
We have a professional trainer on practice. They're waiting for things happening. If any kid gets hurt, nobody gets back on that field without the trainer giving the thumbs up.
In order for these young athletes to benefit from sports, they need to survive them.
Daniel Malara is an athletic trainer from Cal State San Marcos. He says there is a growing consensus that children should start contact sports later.
We're still in the infancy of what that looks like as far as research. I think at this moment in time, most brain science, if you will have a recommendation to start contact sports or blows to the head around 14.
But Malara says that's a conversation parents need to have with the coaches and staff. He says a coach's attitude influences how a team approaches injuries.
Nice job, kid.
Scott Evelyn says his coach was to blame for his injury, ending his dream of medical school. It also makes communication a slow process, with his mother reading his words, saying coaches need to do a better job listening.
Make sure that parents know this. And it's the first time he's actually shared his thoughts.
Luth says if she had to do it over again, she would still let her son play football. The sport was not the problem, she says. The coach was.
Who's watching your children? It's really, the crux of it is because there's great coaches out there. And I wish Scott had that coach.
Evelyn's family sued San Marcos Unified and settled in 2016 for nearly $4.4 million. Alexander Nguyen, KPBS News.